everyone. Great to be with you. Welcome to the last of our Lent devotionals. And I hope you can join us tonight for our Good Friday digital experience that will be live streaming at 7 o'clock, both on YouTube and on our website, emergencenj.org. And we will, together, yet separate, we'll be remembering and reflecting on Jesus' death on the cross for us and what that means. And we'll do that through singing songs, through some teaching, and through communion. So really hope that you can join us for that. Today, now, as we continue to have our hearts prepared for tonight and into this weekend, I want to turn our attention to the account of Jesus being sent to be crucified and Barabbas being released. And I'm going to be reading from Mark 15, verse 6. Now at the feast, he used to release for them one prisoner for whom they asked. And among the rebels in prison who had committed murder in the insurrection, there was a man called Barabbas. And the crowd came up and began to ask Pilate to do what he usually did for them. And he answered them, saying, "Do you want me to release for you the king of the Jews?" For he perceived that it was out of envy that the chief priests had delivered him up. But the chief priests stirred up the crowd to have him release for them Barabbas instead. And Pilate again said to them, "Then what shall I do with the man you call the king of the Jews?" And they cried out again, "Crucify him." And Pilate said to them, "Why? What evil has he done?" But they shouted all the more, "Crucify him." So Pilate, wishing to satisfy the crowd, released for them Barabbas, having scourged Jesus, delivered him to be crucified. We have a lot of characters in this little account here, and I think we can find ourselves in all of the characters here, except for Jesus. Barabbas was a murderer and an insurrectionist, someone who defied and rebelled against the authorities that he was under. You have Pilate, who passively hands Jesus over, even though he knows it's not right. You have the chief priests, the ones who should have known more than anyone at the time of Yahweh's visitation to his people, the time that the Messiah would come and how he would come and what he would be like. Totally miss it, filled with self-interest and holding on to their own power. And then you have the crowds that are easily swayed. Are not we the ones who so often in our sin are filled with our own interests and holding on to our own power and our own way, just like the chief priests? Aren't we the ones like Pilate who are often very passive and just go along with the will of others, or like the crowds easily swayed by men and people around us rather than the truth of God's word? Jesus says earlier on the Sermon on the Mount that having hatred in our hearts, he equates it to murder, right? How often do we have murder in our hearts and insurrection, right? How often do we defy and rebel against the God who created us and against his rule and his authority? And then we have Jesus, the innocent, perfect, holy God-man who willingly goes to his death. It says that Pilate hands him over, but Jesus makes it clear that no one takes my life. I willingly lay down my life for my sheep. Jesus goes to the cross for us. A bunch of, if we're honest, right? A bunch of misguided, often self-interested, passive, easily swayed, cosmic insurrectionists with murder in our hearts. This is the state we're in without Christ. And yet Jesus says, I'm going to go die for you. I'm going to go do what needs to be done for you to be set free and for you to be changed and transformed and redeemed by grace through faith. I think of this song, The Wondrous Cross, and this verse. It says, see from his head, his hands, his feet, sorrow and love flow, mingled down. Did ever such love and sorrow meet? In the cross, we see the greatest sorrow over our sin, the reality of it, the depths of it, sorrow for what our sin does, of what it cost, God to redeem us. And we also see love, the incredible, amazing love of God displayed through willingly taking upon our consequence on himself. So today I encourage you, as we head towards tonight and into this weekend, that we would hold those extremes in tension, that we would deeply remember the depths of our sin, at the same time be in awe and blown away by the incredible love and grace and mercy of our God. And as we do that, we would have hearts prepared tonight to worship fully and freely the God who deserves it. Love you guys. Have a great day.